today I'd like to talk a little bit about the relationship that we have with ourselves. So, the relationship we have with ourselves is absolutely crucial. And this is because the relationship we have with ourselves is the foundation for all of our relationships in our lives. And I'm talking about our relationships, of course, with our intimates, with other people that we know well, with acquaintances, with our work, with everything that we do, and with the world itself. So we are sort of at the center of our own universe. And so if we are out of alignment in our relationship with ourselves in any way, that is going to be reflected to us through the relationship we have with other people. Now, this is not the way we have been taught. And in fact, it is kind of the flip around of what we've been taught, right? We have been conditioned to believe that there is this outside world that is separate from us. And we've been taught that other people are separate from us. And even if we know this, that that's not true and that we are all connected somehow, we still can get really, really trapped in this way of viewing things because there is this really persistent illusion that I'm here and you're over there. We have separate bodies, that our bodies are separate from the body of the earth or from Mother Nature, right? Or that we are physically separate from the money we're trying to make, that kind of thing, right? That things are out there, quote unquote, in the world that we need to go get, right? That we need to strive to acquire in order to bring them to ourselves so that we can feel okay, right? That's how we've been set up in this paradigm. Is that, in fact, part of it too is that we have to gain the approval of other people in order to feel safe, in order to feel accepted, in order to feel loved, right? And that we have to strive and really work really hard to acquire money, maybe prestige, material goods, homes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And obviously, that is true to a point. We do need to interface with the external world. And we do need to work and all of that kind of thing in order to get things that we need. But I'm talking about this on a much, much deeper level. I'm talking about this really in the on the level of consciousness and energy. And so we live in a quantum universe. So, first and foremost, from a spiritual perspective, and this is all kinds of spiritual traditions, any of them that I have studied at any depth, metaphysics, quantum physics, any esoteric teachings will tell us this, shamanism, animism, I could go on. And of course, any kind of energy medicine teachings as well will tell us that we are all connected, that there is, and this is called unity consciousness, right? Is that this idea that there is only one being here, and that all other expressions, which is other people, animals, the planet, etc., anything outside of you, is actually just a part of you. It's an expression of the self. And in fact, that those people, places, and things are mirrors to different aspects of your internal experience, right? So that's what we're told on a spiritual level and again, a quantum physics level. And that through our beliefs about ourselves, about life, about other people, and through our consciousness, we are essentially projecting through our thoughts and emotions that we hold the most and our energetic vibration, that we are manifesting our existence on this plane of reality, right? So, what that means is that I if I believe in abundance, right? And this is just a very simplistic way of looking at it. If I believe that I am worthy of abundance, I'm going to attract people, places, and things and situations into my experience that match my belief about myself. And then, of course, if I believe that I am unworthy of good things, I'm going to attract things that match that. Now, I want to say really quickly, because this is very important, that this is very complicated, right? Because the law of attraction, which is a little bit of what I'm talking about here, can be sort of victim blamey in terms of, you know, oh no, I can't have a negative thought. I can't have a limiting belief, or I'm going to draw negative situations to myself. So I just want to say it's complex because we have different, very many different aspects of ourselves and of life experience. We are interfacing with the external world, with other people, with other situations. I believe also that there's a divine plan for things, and it's very complicated. It's not that simple. So sure, we want to heal our beliefs and emotions and traumas and all of those things that limit our awareness. And at the same time, we are part of this collective consciousness on planet Earth. It's not just us by ourselves manifesting things or lack thereof, right? And so we're part of this sea of consciousness that is humanity. And so, no, it is not your fault if you continue to draw in experiences to yourself that are limited or fear based. Again, you want to do the work to heal those places in you where you feel unworthy somehow. And it's not just you, it's really complicated. So I just wanted to remove that sort of it's your fault and you need to try harder. And I should make another video about that. But for now, um, because of all of this, our relationship with ourselves is key, right? It is the foundation, kind of, I see it as the foundation of a house in a sense. If we don't have a solid foundation in terms of how we feel about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, what we tell ourselves, and that kind of thing, and feeling safe in our own bodies, feeling safe in life, trusting ourselves, trusting the universe, all of that kind of thing, then our foundation is going to be a little bit wonky, right? And so then everything that we try to build on top of that foundation will be somehow compromised, right? So, as an example, if I believe that I am unworthy of love and positive connections, then I'm going to have trouble calling into my experience love and authentic connection, right? And so that sort of wonky foundation is drawing in things that I don't necessarily want. So, as I do my personal healing work to address my core wounding around trauma, attachment wounding, any places where that I don't feel worthy or safe or trusting of life and myself, all those kinds of things, then I will, to some degree, continue to attract situations that match that. And that's because like attracts like. We're like magnets in a sense. What we are putting out there with our focus through our emotions, what we're telling ourselves, what our beliefs are over and over and over, and especially I'm talking about really repetitive things, um, then the universe can only match us and bring to us things that match. So it's kind of like putting in an order to the universe and saying, this is, I want more of this, right? And so, again, not a perfect science. It's really convoluted because I'm here to tell you that even if you don't think positively all the time, which I don't know anybody that does, myself included, your life can still change. It's just that we want to be working on these core things and we want to view the relationship we have with ourselves as our foundation for everything in our lives, because it is. So, if there is disharmony in, say, our intimate relationship with our partner, what can happen frequently is if we've got unhealed issues inside of ourselves that we have not tended to, we will, and places in ourselves, like parts of ourselves that we don't like, that we don't want, and these are called shadow aspects, we will project these issues onto our partner and onto other people in our lives. When I say projection, I mean it's literally like a screen, like my consciousness around feeling like I don't like certain things about myself gets, because it's disowned, because these parts of me are disowned by me, they get projected onto the field, the screen, if you will, of my experience. So, in that way of looking at it, everything outside of us is like a mirror, right? So it's like my consciousness and my beliefs, my emotions, etc., are projecting onto the screen of my awareness, my external experience, what I believe about myself, what I believe about life, what I feel like I deserve. And that is it's sort of feedback, right? It's like, oh, okay. But what happens is typically is that we will have challenging experiences in our relationships or other situations, and we will react, right? They did this to me, they did that, right? And we will feel victimized by these situations. And that's understandable, right? And there is a place for that, right? There is a place for, yes, we are interfacing with another human who may or may not have respect and regard for us. And that wounding that is created in these situations needs to be healed, and it is valid because other people are meeting us from the place of whatever they feel about themselves, right? So if they've got beliefs and ideas and emotions within themselves that they don't feel good about themselves, they're going to project that onto us, right? They're going to basically project their unhealed material upon us. So we're all doing this a lot of the time, projecting our unhealed patterns and wounding onto other people and onto life itself, right? At the same time, though, we want to begin to see our external reality as a mirror, since that's what it is. And the mirror is simply providing feedback. And this is such an empowering way to look at it. The mirror of our external reality is showing us where we are. It is showing us where we still need healing, what parts of us need tending to, what shadow aspects we need to take ownership of and allow to integrate into the rest of our being. And so it's all feedback. It's all feedback, and there are ways that we can work with that. Now, so much of this path, so much of the shamanic path, which is, as y'all know, where I'm primarily coming from, is about personal responsibility, which is taking responsibility for what I am generating in my own life experience. I take responsibility for, what is showing up for me over and over and over again in terms of woundedness, what's working, what's not working, right? And then instead of blaming the mirror and fighting back against the mirror, I turn toward myself and ask better questions. Like instead of why is this happening to me? Why are they doing this to me? I might ask, what is this bringing up for me? What is this showing me about myself that I need to be aware of? What parts of me are being triggered in this moment that need to be healed? And see, so in that way, I'm taking ownership of my own power versus projecting my power outside of myself all over the place and giving my power over to other people, situations, and other things, right? So we want to always bring it back to ourselves over and over again, right? What is this mirror of life showing me that I need to be aware of? And then the task is to do whatever healing work within ourselves that needs to be done in order to change what we're seeing in the mirror of our reality, right? So if I have patterns of not feeling loved in relationship, I might say, okay, what is that actually about? What is the deeper root pattern or cause around that? Now, since I know a lot about myself because I do self healing work, I would say, well, that's super familiar. That's because I've had these patterns from early childhood trauma that told me that I was unworthy of love, of care, of respect. And so instead of blaming the mirror image, I turn inside of myself and say, okay, what needs to be done here? And I will do whatever the healing work is that is called for around that. And um, so just to name about shadow work, this is so powerful. I feel like trauma healing is shadow work. Shadow work is simply that we are taking note, making note of all of the places within ourselves that have felt unloved, that have felt unwanted, and that are, in fact, creating sort of static or dissonance in our external experience with others, and working to heal them and integrate them with the true self, which the true self, this is what we want to cultivate a connection to, is our higher self, our true self, the real self, which is the authentic embodiment of who we truly are. It is that part of us that is, I guess you could say, our potential, but not even that. It's really who we truly are beyond all the limitations, beyond and perceived limitations, beyond all the fear, beyond all the limiting beliefs, beyond all of the reactions and traumas and all of that, who we truly are. And so the more we clean up our part of things and take ownership of these shadow aspects and heal them through our own love and compassion, the more our authentic self shines through. And for this reason, so many reasons, right? If we want harmony in our relationships, harmony in our work, we want abundance, we want to feel empowered, we want to feel courageous, we want to trust ourselves, we want to be able to listen to our intuition and just generally have our lives work and live lives of abundance, then our self healing work is crucial. It is absolutely crucial that we continue to bring things back to ourselves over and over again and ask these questions like, what needs to be done? What is being called for in this moment? Where am I being asked to move into greater alignment with who I truly am and what I really deserve? So that is so much of the work that we are doing at Wounded Healer School. I feel like it is fundamental, really, in my book, to living lives courageously and, again, aligned with our highest expression. And so I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please do put them below. And if you feel like this video was helpful or insightful in any way, please do share and subscribe. We release new videos every week, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.